In this video, I will show you how to use your own drawing or artwork, um, import it into Inkscape, and then kind of manipulate it and play with it here in Inkscape. So first you go to File, and then Import, and it usually goes straight to pictures, but it will open up your libraries and so you can choose which file you want. Previous to this, you will have either scanned in your drawing or your artwork, or you can also take a photograph of it and save it to your computer that way. I do suggest scanning if you have a scanner because that will get a more clear image of your artwork. Okay, so I'm opening up just an ink drawing that I did. I'm going to click on the control button and then just make it a little bit smaller. And actually I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than that. There we go. Okay, make sure that it is selected, and then you'll go to Path and to Trace Bitmap, which will open up a little window. You want to make sure that brightness cutoff is checked right there. And then you have a threshold to choose from. I'm going to do a very low threshold just because mine is a pretty clear ink drawing. Now, if you're doing something with more shading, where you have less contrast, so mine is just black and white, but if you have kind of grays in between, you will want to try a higher threshold. Okay, so this is the preview window. I'm going to say update. You can kind of see what it's doing. Now this looks really fuzzy in here. It won't really show up like that. Okay, and you can always try it again after you trace it if you don't like it. So I'm going to say OK. Okay. It didn't go. Huh, maybe it did go and I just didn't see it. Let's see. Oh, it sure did. Okay, so there you can see it traced my drawing, which is pretty cool. So I don't need this drawing anymore. So I'm going to select and just click on delete and get rid of that. We don't need this window anymore, so I'm going to X out of that. And then I'm going to there's two ways I can do this. I can kind of click and drag and resize to make it fit. Another thing that I can do is go to File, Document Properties, and Fit Page to Selection. And that'll just make the canvas the exact size of the drawing. Okay, I'll X out of that. You can see my drawing is the exact same size as the canvas. I want to bring it in just a little bit so there's some white space around. Whoops. So it doesn't go all the way up to the very border. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's a number of things that you can do with this. I'll show you just a couple. I can click on the node tool and click on my drawing. As you can see, it adds tons and tons and tons of nodes. Let's see, one thing I can do is go to Path and then Simplify. Okay, it removed a lot of nodes, and it actually did change my drawing a little bit. So not a whole lot, but it did. My lines are all very smooth and curvy anyway. If they were more geometric with angles, it would have changed it to slightly more curvy. Okay. You can even add nodes and delete nodes. So let's see. Where is a good spot? Okay, so right here, I'm going to click on that node and I'm going to delete it. Okay, and you'll see that it changes a little bit. All right. Another thing I can do if I want that node back, if I don't really like what it did, I can go to undo and I'll add it back. Another thing that you can do is add a node. All you have to do is put the cursor right where you want it and just double click and it will add a node. Okay, so then I can click on a node and move it all around. Okay, same down here. Let's say I want to make that a little different. Okay, pretty cool stuff, right? Okay, another thing that you can do is change the color of things. So I'm going to go to Fill and Stroke, open up that window. Okay, as you know, you can choose colors from up here. I like to be able to see the colors that I'm choosing. So here, let's choose this one. Look at it. It has changed my drawing to like a pale green. Now, if I don't want to do that and I want it to go back to black, I can do undo. I don't want that. That red line is on there just because of the node tool, so I'm going to go back to selection and watch this. So I'm still here. I'm going to choose that green again. I don't want it that green. So watch this. I'm going to go to this fill tool and I can click in and I can fill those things with color. Okay. As you can see, there's some gaps that didn't get filled in. And so you can kind of change what that does. Okay. Let's go to large. Okay. And of course, I can choose different colors. I think I maybe want some contrasting colors in there. So let's see, maybe like a hot pink. Now, when I clicked on that, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see it better. It changes my very last one that I did. Now, I didn't want to do that. I still wanted that green, so I'll just go to undo. Now, that hot pink is still what I'm using. So there you go. Pretty cool. Okay, now one thing it won't do, it won't fill in this out here because it's called an unbounded area. If I click on that, you'll see right here, area is not bounded, cannot fill. It has to be a closed in area for that to happen. Okay, so if I wanted to add a background to that, I would, I probably should have done that first, but I didn't think about that until just this second. So I'm going to go to layer and then add a layer, and I'm going to call it, whoops, background, and add. Okay, so I'm going to lock layer 1. I'm going to go to the background. So layer 1 would be my drawing. Technically, if you want a background, like I said, I should have done that first. So what I'm going to do is similar to what we did. Actually, it's basically just what we did in our landscape. So I'm going to choose that. I am going to draw a rectangle. I can change the color of that, as you guys know. Here, we'll choose a bluish color. Okay, and then you guys probably know I'm going to open up the layers and I'm going to make the background go behind. There we go. And of course, you can take this drawing, you can also add things to it. You might want to make another layer so you can draw on top of that. So here, I'm going to do add shapes. Okay, I'm going to lock the background, make sure I'm on the add shapes layer, and then there we go. Okay. There we go. Maybe I'll add it that way. But I'm going to change the color so I can see it better. Select it. And I can move it on. Oops. Okay. Well, I just noticed this. So layer 1, we want that in between. We want the add shapes on top. So I'm going to click on add shapes and move that up one. There we go. Now I can add the shapes on top. Okay. There you go. Okay, so lots of different choices on how you can use your own artwork to do this. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Have fun with this. All right, we'll see you later.